A revealing and surprising admission from Canada's finance minister today about the future of two oil pipeline proposals, Keystone XL and the Northern Gateway. In an exclusive interview with the West Block's Tom Clark, Jim Flaherty said if those two projects don't get approval, there may be another route out for Alberta's oil. Tom Clark joins me now from Ottawa. Hi there, Tom.
Hi, Donna.
What did the finance minister tell you?
Well, something we've never heard before, that the future of Canadian oil exports may be through the Arctic. Here's the context. I had asked Mr. Flaherty what sort of an economic hit this country would take if the Keystone pipeline was rejected at a time when the future of the Northern Gateway pipeline was also in doubt. And far from a simple defense of these two projects, the minister went a step further, outlining what could be the beginnings of a Plan B. Take a listen.
There are other alternatives, as you know, pipelines to the east, to New Brunswick, to St. John, pipeline to Churchill, pipeline through the Rockies, pipeline to Alaska. There are lots of alternatives. We can explore all of them, and it's one of our priorities, major projects to encourage economic growth and exports.
Wow. Well, whenever the federal government in the past was asked about Keystone and Northern Gateway, it's always been positive, full steam ahead. Might this be a signal they're starting to hedge their bets?
Yeah, I think we may be seeing the beginning of a pivot. The government hasn't given up on either pipeline project just yet, but I think that, like many in the Canadian business community and the oil community, the government realizes that both projects are in real danger, especially the Northern Gateway. So a Plan B is just a smart thing to do. But what's surprising, though, Donna, is that two of the Plan B suggestions, Alaska and Churchill, Manitoba, are for taking oil through Arctic waters, something that in the end may be even more controversial than Northern Gateway, but clearly the government is beginning to think of options.
All right. Very interesting. Tom Clark in Ottawa. Thanks.
You bet.
And you can watch the full interview on the West Block this Sunday. Already, though, there is reaction to Jim Flaherty's remarks. There has been heated opposition to both pipeline proposals. But would Alaska or Churchill be more acceptable options? It's certainly an idea that comes as a surprise to Churchill's mayor. Shirley Engel reports.
Though Ottawa has pledged support to help Churchill, Manitoba diversify its port, shipping Alberta oil wasn't what the mayor had in mind. A senior federal minister floating Canada's only major northern port for a possible pipeline, news to him.
There's environmental challenges, there's Aboriginal interest that would have to be overcome. And I don't know if it's even realistic in terms of, or whether it can be accommodated or not.
Realistic or not, these alternate routes are just ideas, years away. And Alberta's economy is already being hurt by falling oil prices today. Canadians lose millions, $20 a barrel, shipping 2/3 of our oil at a discount to the U.S. With the proposed pipelines up in the air, the petroleum industry may need another way to access world demand and prices. These other routes are known, but this is the first time the Harper government is talking Plan B publicly.
What the government seems to be doing is flailing about. They're throwing out ports and throwing out pipelines one after the other, rather than putting in place a public consultation process.
Environmental groups say no matter where the pipelines go, their concerns remain.
Until there's a credible plan in place that shows that the oil sands can be developed responsibly, and that means being able to hit our climate targets, being able to manage tailings responsibly, approving additional pipelines will be a challenging prospect for any government.
Still, with production expected to double by 2030, the survival of the oil industry depends on diversification.
We will need more pipelines than just the ones being proposed today. This is a very important national conversation.
A conversation that will continue for years to come. Shirley Engel, Global News, Ottawa.